everyone, it's Doreen with Oohlala Vintage Treasures. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. I just have a sweet little neutral aesthetic display here. I'm working with some of my beads and I thought I started playing with them and I decided to turn the camera on just to show you how satisfying sometimes using things that you have in your craft room can inspire you to create. So just a few little tips on what you can use. I have Dollar Tree in here. I have thrift store finds. I also have tea sets. I have vintage finds. So use what you have. But the idea is to give yourself inspiration in your craft room. So what I have here, these you can get at the Dollar Tree, and this is a peat pot. Now I will tell you, these are so much fun to decorate and put in your craft room and use for lots of different things. And I used to use this as a flower storage about, I guess 10-12 years ago. I made a video on peat pot storage with flowers, and so I wanted to use these because they kept getting bounced around in bags as I was unpacking. I was so surprised that they were still intact after all these years of getting bounced around. And I made these, but I never showed how I put them together. But it's basically just decorating the peat pot with laces and trims, adding your favorite little sparkle pieces and vintage jewelry, and just be creative with peat pots. And you'll have a cute little holder for anything. So I just have a few here, and I just wanted to show you how I made this display. I have a few other peat pots I'll show you. This is another one, and as you can see, it is all full of lace, and how I glued everything on is just with fabric tack. And lots of just different embellishments, wedding dress appliques, my favorite sparkle pieces, flowers, doilies. It's so simple to do. And also, these would make great embellishments for your junk journals by cutting them up and using the elements of these. And I might do that in another video if I can find my peat pots, because I think I might have got rid of them at some point. But I really want to go back to the peat pot because it's such a great texture. To give it a little bit of stability, I just gessoed the peat pot with, white gesso. I really love how those came out, and they make great little holders for anything. You could even use these in your kitchen for your knives and your forks and your spoons, just a pretty display for your family or your friends. And I just think they're so sweet. So I wanted to show you guys these before I put them in my craft room on display, and what I decide to use them for. I'm not sure yet, but they look pretty in my display, and so I thought I'd bring them over and show you. And then this one here has a flower and a pearl and wedding appliques and just lots of pretty bits. Get out your bits of things that you haven't used. So maybe you want to use an heirloom from one of your family members or someone that has gone to heaven, and you want to display it in your craft room. So I think this is a great idea. It is an oldie but a goodie. And also this right here is a candle cup inside, because it does have a hole in the bottom. So I found out that these candle cups, let me get one out here. These candle cups right here, they are for your wax candles that you burn in your home. It's like a room freshener type of candle thing. And I've had these to sort for a lot of things. And so I got them in the cream color as well as the pink. And I just love this soft cream color. So I just put them in the bottom of this peat pot, and it does give it some stand-up stability because they do fall over with all this heavy sparkle on it. So you do have to have something in the bottom to hold them down. But that's just one that I decorated and it didn't make it to the tray. And then also I have these vintage silver pieces that I have in my craft room, and I thought I would just show you if you go antiquing or if you go to thrift stores and you like to pick up these types of things. They're really sweet to have to inspire you. And this one is a silver one, and I love the way it looks. And it has the handles right here, and you can put buttons in here, beads in here, all kinds of things. And that's the sugar, and this is the creamer. I believe that the handle got broke off, but I still like it. It's still pretty. I just put a button down in there. And then I just have some of my rhinestone sparkle clip-on earrings, just to give me a little pretty sparkle. And that can just inspire you to create, because sometimes we just get stuck in a rut. I also have this jar that I showed in my last video. I started cutting up all of my beads. So I have my necklaces up here. I took the bracelet. Let me show you. I took the bracelet and I wrapped it around the jar, the crown jar. And then I have it on this plate that matches those coffee cups that I got from Ross years ago. So I just place that around here because it has that stretchy, and I think I might leave it now. It looks so pretty. And then here is one of the necklaces I haven't cut up, and here's the tassels. And then I was going to show you, I had all of this hanging out. So let me show you what this looks like. I hope everybody's doing well and you are getting some fun crafty time in. I am organizing and playing with beads today, working on some little bead organization. So I just thought I would hop on and show you guys some of the things that I do with these things. So these are pearl necklaces, and I love these style pearls because they are so fun, and wait till you see what I do with these. And then again, these pretty sparkly beads, which is like a brown, copper, tan color. And so that is what I have on here so far. So I have all these little peat pots, and then underneath the peat pots, I have little things to put my beads in. So we are going to cut up some more beads, and you can see what we're going to do with them next. So over here, I have these beautiful ones that I cut up. They were just on a strand, and they look so good. These are those ramekins from Dollar Tree, you guys, and you get 4 of them for $1.25. I think they're perfect for putting beads in here so you could see everything out in the open. You could see it all right in front of you. So if you took all of these different pretty things out, right, and just imagine you don't have these silver trays or anything, just get out your tea sets or your pretty teacups and saucers. Anything would work. And use what you have. I'm just going to move the silver tray out of the way just because it's in the way right now, but it's such a pretty little tray to look at. And I'm just going to put that to the side over here. And then over here, I just have some buttons thrown in here. This was the necklace with the pearls and the white puffy looking beads. And the pearls are down in the bottom. So I just have it in this cute little, this is a little vintage coffee cup, and it has a matching glass dish that I haven't found yet, still packed away. So I just put everything in these little things, and then I started playing around with how I was going to store these. So this right here, I'm going to take all of these out and just show you. I love displaying my jewels. That's one of the things I love to do, my jewelry pieces. And so when I put it on the glass jar, I was surprised how much I liked it, this hanging on the glass jar. Instead of taking all the pearls off, I think I might leave it like this, because isn't that instant beauty right there, you guys? If I ever need the beads, I can start taking them off, maybe the back, but I have a lot of these types of beads already, and I just love how that looks. So I could wrap some lace in here and make it look really pretty. I just wanted to play today before I started organizing some more boxes, and then just come along and craft with you guys. I am having so much fun in my craft room, and I thought I would share with you guys what I'm doing. I am back to using envelopes, you guys, and I think this idea is going to work for me because I have an abundance of plastic containers that are tiny, that's hard to store. Let me show you what I mean. So let me just show you all the containers that I have and just get in a visual of it. It's overwhelming sometimes, you guys. Containers are great. When you don't have any other options, containers are fantastic, right? But sometimes you don't have a lot of space. And so these are the Dollar Tree ones that you can get. Back in the day, they were $1. Now they're probably $1.25. And they have these little compartments here, which we love, right? But they really don't hold a lot in these containers, especially if they're pieces that you want to cut up and use for making, you know, altered art pieces and stuff. But this is what I put in here because, see, these are pretty earrings that I could make jewelry pieces out of. I can fold that down and make a charm dangle, or I can cut that off and just add a loop here, one of those O-rings, and make it into a jewelry piece. But when I first started, I would just cut everything off, and I didn't think about making it into charms. So that's why these are still in this container. But that is just one container that I have. And then I have this container. And this is one of those separated containers. It has all kinds of different compartments. But you guys, I'm tall. I'm 5'10", and my hands are long. So trying to get in these containers sometimes is very difficult. So I end up hitting my cuticles in these little trays, and it just makes it impossible for me to get in and out of these little tiny compartments. So you get the visual, right? Then I have these, which are great, but the lid comes off, and so sometimes these kind of things go falling everywhere. Or say I'm moving something in my craft room on the desk, and this falls off the floor. All of these go on the floor, you guys, and it has happened to me once. So that is not a good container situation either. And then, see that? These are magnetic, and these come from Hobby Lobby. They're great, but the magnet doesn't stay on. So you end up dropping it, and it's just, you know, it's just hard to work with sometimes. And I thought these would be amazing for this type of stuff, you know, for these types of things. So then I said, okay, let me rethink this idea. I have that big catalog thing behind me that I showed in my craft room tour video, but not everybody has one of those. So I thought, what could I do that's recyclable and reusable and get rid of some of these containers in my room and give them to like a school or someone who needs these, you know, because not everybody's going to like my idea. And what I decided to do is, I don't have my junk mail today because my husband ended up throwing out the envelopes. An envelope like this that's long, okay, and it could have one window, any window in the front or the side or whatever. And you're going to just fold it in half. Let me measure this, you guys, to see what size this is. So 4 by 9.5, okay? So that's what I'm using, and that's what fits in the white boxes from Hobby Lobby. So if you're using the system, I listed these in my video when I'm organizing with the envelopes. And as you can see, they fit perfectly inside of this box. And I showed you guys what to do with these boxes by adding your vintage doilies to them, and then you can clip on little images to the side, whichever way you're going to use it in your craft room. So this will be used forward, and then the other ones that I do are this way. So whatever way you decide to use your box, your envelopes, and anything you have, and it would look great with your junk envelopes, all different, but mine are all the same, just so you know. That is just what I'm doing with mine because I have these envelopes to use, and I coffee dyed them. So all you're going to do is coffee dye your envelope, then you're going to close up this part right here, okay? So you're just going to close up the flap, and then you're going to cut the top off right here. That's all you're going to do. And I'm just going to show you how they look inside. So this is my example of the beads I'm working with. This is a piece off of the necklace, and I just attached it with this garment pin right here. And I have the garment pins in several colors, so whatever color you want to use, you don't have to use this color. But I thought it looked really nice and vintage to add to my little envelopes. So you have this envelope here with the window, and you only need this much window right here down so you could see what you're looking at, because you're going to have your example in your box, and it's going to fold over your box and hang over if it can. If not, it'll just be sitting up, and I'll show you the other one in a second. But you'll have it, you know, sitting out, so as you're going through it, you'll see the beads, okay? So let's go ahead and put on my favorite thing that I use for everything, if I can find it, because I just buried it, I believe, my washi tape. Let's go with some washi tape. And that's just to enforce this while you're using your beads. Maybe you're gonna make them for a craft show or a flea market and you just wanna sell them. And this is a very secure way to do it, as long as the beads fit down in here. And most necklaces fit in these little compartments this size, okay? Because at first I was gonna cut it off, and then I'm like, wait a second. If I fold it over, that's a stopping point for the envelope, and then I don't have to worry about it. But if I need to get in my envelope, right, it's so easy to just open the envelope like this. Now, pretend your beads are inside of here, right? And you go to make something, and say you're at a craft event or something, and you have all of your things ready to go, and then you can pour them in your dishes. So you have your envelopes ready to go, and you pour them in your dishes, and you create whatever you want. But isn't that so satisfying, you guys? To me, that is the most satisfying sound, is creating with a purpose, and also a pretty way to show what you're working with, right? So if you're at a craft show, or you're doing a home event, you're doing displays and showing people how to create aesthetically, this is a way to do it. All you need is a silver tray and some glass dishes, some lids and different things, and you have a pretty little display, okay? So I'm gonna move this over here. And this holds a lot of pieces of jewelry. As you can see, it holds a ton. But we're gonna work with these right now. So we have 3 different envelopes here. And these are the sizes of the beads. This sticks really well, and you won't need to do anything with it, okay? So just do that. And then when you fold it over, you have a little bit showing, which I want a little more showing than that. So let me fix it. See how it comes off so easily, and then you can put it right back on. So there you go. And then this can just wrap around because it doesn't matter, right? So then you have this right here, just like our other envelopes, okay? But then I have these cute little tags right here. And I thought I could count my beads, the ones I have, and put this cute little tag and attach it to here with the bulb pin. So that would be really cute to collage on these little tags too. Say you have little pieces of lace that you want to just play with. Maybe you don't have a lot of mojo, but you just want to make something. This is from a Martha Stewart punch. This thing is so old, but it works and it still gets through it. And I wish we had more of these things like this because I love that punch. But these tags right here are just so cute. And this is coffee dyed cardstock. And I just punched it out with the punch. So now you need to put a hole in it, right? You can poke a hole in it, or you can punch a hole in it. So I have this cute little heart punch that I hardly ever use, and I thought, how cute would that be? So I'm gonna go like right there. There's a cute little heart. Isn't that adorable? So that is what I will attach to the piece right here. So let's just go ahead and add it. And that will remind us, before we put them in the envelope, they should be counted as well, because you need to know how many beads you have, so that if you're selling your beads or however you're putting them together, they're ready to go. And you'll know how many are there, because you have your tag there to remind you to count, okay? So I'm gonna do that. I'll do that off camera, but I wanted to show you that idea with the washi tape and then adding your little tags. Okay, so that's all you're going to need to go in your box. And then when you put your beads in, put over a tray or something in case they fall out. Only a few fell down here, so you know, just grab them and put them in there. And there's some there. You get the idea, right? And the great thing is, you don't have to seal it up. You don't have to zip these. You don't have to do anything but fold them, and they are instantly in there, you see? Because you've made this fold over here. And that's a lot of beads, you guys. That is a ton of beads. And then once you put them in your box and take them to wherever you're going, maybe you're going to a crop and you just want a few beads with you and some findings. You got it right here. See that? And it's such a small box, but it holds a lot. Okay? So one more time, I'm going to put them in this bowl. These are like so pretty to look at pouring out the bag, or so pouring out of the envelope is so pretty. It's just fun to touch coffee dyed paper as well. And then these envelopes are crunchy, so they have that nice sound that you might need to make your day, because I know sometimes I just need to hear crinkly paper to make my day. So anyway, I'll clean that up in a little bit. But anyway, you got the idea on that, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do this. And I was trying to decide what I was going to do with, if I was going to cut all these and keep them together. So we have all of these little beads, and then we just have a few bigger beads. So there's not that many of the big ones here. So I think all of these could go together because it'll fit into an envelope very nicely. So when we cut them, we will find out. And also, I was going to show you too, on the envelopes, the rest of these I have to glue anyways. So we'll do that real quick. We'll do one. Let me find my glue stick. I buy these glue sticks 4 in a pack on Amazon, and they are wonderful. I love this glue stick. So we're just going to glue the edge of this. I thought I glued them all. I guess I decided to wait until I got on camera. So then you're just going to glue them like that. Close them up. So it's nice and strong, okay? Just make sure there's no holes on the sides anywhere. And then you're just going to cut off, you're going to cut off the edge here, just a tiny bit off the edge. Just a tiny, tiny bit, like a sliver on the edge. Very little. That tiny little sliver. Okay, and so you're going to cut that off. And this is another tip, you guys. Say you don't have all these bowls or things to use to sort things, and you just want to do it really quickly. I did this with the envelope before. You put it in the envelope, and you hold, because it's tall, you see, you can hold on to the envelope, and then you can cut it with scissors or your cutters, depending on if it's a wire or whatever it is. So you just cut it, and I usually cut it like down in here, and then it just falls. So this was a wire. And then you just play with it and decide where you want your beads to fall inside the envelope. So it just takes a little bit of a minute here. See, all of these are going to come off now, which is fantastic. And then they're just going to fall in the envelope, hopefully. Unless the wire is stuck. They might be tied into the wires too. So we'll get off as much as we can, and then we'll come back for the rest. Yep, they're just going to slide right off on here. Okay, so you have that part, and then you have this part. Let's see. Yeah, these are loose too. Sometimes they have, like this one had a knot. I don't know what that is, but it's tied in a knot. So I think they tied the wire in a knot. Okay, and then you just have to make sure that you have the right wire you're pulling out so that you don't drop them all everywhere. And then you toss the little piece of wire, unless you can reuse that wire for something. I probably wouldn't use it for anything, so that is going to go in the trash and out of my way, because it's a little bit fiddly and it's got a lot of little... It's like not fitting in my trash can right now. I'll fix it later. So you see now that long necklace is now become these little parts of the beads. To me, that's so satisfying, you guys. Come on. Easy to get out. I think one fell somewhere in here. But getting them all out of the envelope is really simple. And then look at these beads, you guys. Isn't that so neat? I love it. Can you see all that yummy beads? So we have like, I think it's 3 different sizes. I know it's this one here, but look at that bead. That is incredible. It has that fiery gold look to it, and it's just so pretty to me. And then look at these tiny little looped beads. Now I could not get my fingers to take care of that little bead right there. That is just way too tiny for me. You see that? And this is made with, it looks like a tiny loop. Yeah, this is a tiny loop and a little bead pin at the end. That to me is incredible to find stuff like that. So out of this necklace, remember that I got 1 bead, 2 bead, and then this size bead right here. So we've got these 3 beads here, and then we also got the tassels here that are already made for us. You see? So this is 1 piece. It's attached. That's why it looks like so much. Not 1 piece. I'm going to show you in a second here. Let's move this off the thing for a minute. Put those there so we don't lose them. This I tied with a piece of lace so that when I put it in its packaging, it would be ready to go, and it's already attached to this little piece of lace here. Let me just show you. So this is something you can do too, is bundling up your little tassels and different things that you might have in your room. So this is what it looks like when you take the tassel out. So there's about 8 of these here. So it looks like a lot because it's, you know, together here. That's what I meant by together. Okay, and just tie in a little knot and add a piece of your favorite laces. And also, seeing these pretty laces in your craft room just reminds you of all the pretty things you love, right? You love pretty laces and vintage and French laces. So that is that right there. Isn't that just stunning? I love it. So that would go inside with this, and then you would hang one off the side. So I should have kept one out. Let me just pull this out. So get out your envelopes and your beads, and this can work with findings and everything. You could do so much. You could also take individual little plastic bags and put them in the envelopes. This would hold a lot of those little tiny bags that you get, little Ziploc bags, or you could even put a Ziploc bag if you don't feel comfortable using this system of folding it over. But I really think this is a really good system to work with this size. The 4 by 9.5 is perfect when you fold it over. So we're going to take and use, let's see, I have over here some junk jewelry that I was playing with in this dish. And I wanted to show you guys, here's the pin. I wanted to show you guys what I discovered, and I'm sure this has been done before. But if you don't have wire or things to make your pieces on the outside to display them on your window, I mean, on your envelope, I'm looking for a fish hook. Here's one. A fish hook earring. I got these years ago, and they had these little dangles on them. So the other piece I used, and then I had this piece left over, and then I kept the fish hook earrings because a lot of us don't wear these anymore, and I usually cut these off and make my own earring holders because they're usually not made very well, or these things fall out of your ears and then you have to have the rubber thing to put on it, and you know how that goes. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to take these beads off right here, and I'm going to use, and I did also use it on here, I used on this bead right here, one of those, no, I added the bead to this one, and let's see if I did it on this one. This one is what I used a fish hook for it, and it had, I kept that little round bead on there, so the little round bead stayed. So I'm going to use this fish hook as my wire, and all I'm going to do is take it and bend it out just like you would a head pin or a loop pin, and just bend it out as best as you can to get your bead to go on it straight. Okay, and so let's move this here. So this one we have several beads, right? We have that one. We have this tiny little dangle that we can put on this loop. So this is already done for us, right? The loop is here ready to go, and all I got to do is put it on the loop, which is really hard to see. So now it's on the loop of the fishhook earring. Okay, and then we're going to attach it like that. So here's the part we're straightening out. That part's done. Now we're going to add one of our other beads to it, which is going to look like that. And then we have a little one here, which is this one. That's going to go on top. If I can see where the hole is there. You see that little tiny hole there? It's hard to see when these are so faceted. It's on the flat side. There we go. So now we have a little piece, right? A piece. But if I wanted to sit here and play all day, I could add, so I can make a collection out of what I have here, right? Because then I could add another bead from another collection over here and give it, that even looks like the same bead, but it's from a different collection, a different necklace. Isn't that funny? So say I want to do pearls and this crystal, right? I can add this, and this could be together in one envelope. So many possibilities. Or you could put this on the envelope and have it ready to go with pieces in the envelope of each one. So this might be my reminder that I want the pearl to go with this, and maybe I want a pearl that comes into this one, right? The little baby pearls back here. So maybe I want to add this little pearl to here, and then you have a cute little collection together, okay? So there's many things that you can do with these. I'm going to put these back though for now because I want to know which beads I have and how many I have and all that fun stuff. So I'm just going to put this back on here. And I didn't realize when I got the necklaces they were almost exactly the same. They have the same look. They're just a different, almost a tiny bit different in color, but not, as you can see here, this one is like more of a lighter gold, and then this one here is more of a brown and gold. And when you see them together, they look close. All right, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your cutters, and you don't need all of this. You just need enough for a loop. So you're just gonna cut off a little bit. I have no idea where that wire went. That's what happens on my desk, by the way. A lot of things just get lost. And then you clean them up and you find all these things on your desk. That's a surprise, right? So then you're just going to loop it like this so it's easy to open. And then you just have your loop there, and that's ready to go onto the bulb pin now and ready to go on your envelope. So that would be your beads that go in the envelope right here. And then all you got to do is kind of put it close to the edge so it's going to stick out when you put the pin in, and it's going to show the bead on the outside. So it can do like that, you know, it can hang out. Now you can go back and add pretty laces to this to make it more aesthetic. See, I have some lace over here. Where is it? Let's just take a piece of seam binding and show you how cute that is. Just to tie a piece of seam binding over here around the loop. I like covering up these pins with laces. I love adding tulle and laces and things like this to the loops, and it just makes me so happy in my craft room. So let me just show you that so you get an idea too. And it also gives you an enhancement to the beads so you can see them. Isn't that so pretty? So let's put the beads in and let you see. These beads right here are like a coppery brown, and they're gonna go in this envelope. And because we have the window, we could add more because there's plenty of room in here. We could add all of these in here, but I'm not doing that because I want to keep the sizes separated too. And these are a different size. Okay, so there's that one. All right. let's go ahead and put this in the box so you can see what it looks like in the box. So here's your example, and it's hanging out the side. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the tassel on there too. So on this part, this tassel right here needs to be looped over and tied in. So what I'm going to do now, I should have done this before, but since you have that hole there, you can always go back and do it, is add the seam binding loop. And I don't think this is gonna stay together like a, maybe like that, but that doesn't look good, does it? I need it to be where I can get to it. It's gonna hang over the side too far. I think I'm gonna tie this with the seam binding. Let's do that. And I have to undo this knot. 5 minutes later, it took me that long to get the knot out. That was not smart. So I'm gonna tie this little piece of seam binding into a knot again and have this hanging off the side a little bit so that can hang off the side without being too long. And then we'll add our sample piece in here along with the seam binding. So that will go on this end of the envelope right here. Close up, and then I will add the rest of the tassels in there that are tied with the string, and that'll fill that up even more. So then now we have that. So we have the tassel, we have the beads, we fold it over, it goes in our box, and we pull this out the side, and look at that. Isn't that pretty? So I have a few more to show you. And let's see which ones I want to do. I love having this tray here, but if I didn't have this pretty fabric, I would be able to see where the pearls went to and the beads. We're just going to take this apart and keep this chunky part here. So this just has a little loop right here, and I just pulled it right off so easy. So this is probably vintage. All right, so we still have this intact. So if I want to use it, I can use it for something. It looks like a little mini coaster. Isn't that cute? I'm going to put this in here like that. We're going to cut the string inside like that. And this is going to have, I think, 3 different sizes as well. And then you can grab the end and pull on it, because I let it go. But then we just pull on it and get it out of there. The strands are usually like, you know, 50 to 100 pieces. So that string is down in there. Let's grab that. So once you put them in your envelope, then you're going to pour them out and look at them and see which different styles you have. So these are pearls and crystals. Looks like we have 2 sizes. That's so pretty. But when you mix all these together, what a pretty mix, right? So if I wanted to, I could mix them, but I'm not going to at this point. I am going to put the pearls and the crystals together because this went together and because this matches that piece. And you can see the pearls in here and the crystals. This would make a pretty drop on the outside, but it's too heavy, I think, to hang here. And you fold it down. I mean, I guess I could leave it on there. And instead of getting one of those fish hooks, that would probably work a lot better too, wouldn't it? Than having to do that. And we'll add it to this piece right here. Try to find a spot that it'll hold it or it won't break. See if that's good. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna attach it. Fold this in half. I'll go back and add the washi tapes. It's gonna look so pretty with washi tape on the top too. So I'm gonna put this at the edge again. Not real close to the edge, but close enough that the pin can go on the other side. And that'll just hang off there. Like that. Okay. So these two go together. So after you assess what's in the pieces, I wasn't really sure what was in there. Now I am. I can go ahead and put it in the box. So there we go. Let's go ahead and put these in their envelope. So this is the one I showed you with the tags. It needs a little piece of something too. Let's put a little piece of lace on it, just to give you guys a visual. I'm gonna take some lace off of my washi tape holder and add a piece of, this is stretchy lace. Let me make sure I'm putting that in behind everything. Yeah, so it stops everything from, you know, falling over. So I usually just go in there and add these. And this is a fun project to do while you're watching TV. You could do beads, buttons, metal findings, jewelry, charms, you know, anything, any ideas with that. Okay, that looks really cute now with the tag and everything. Okay, so let's put this, let's put these in here. This is a little bit not as wide as the envelope. It should be a little bit smaller to use that. That's okay. Have all kinds of things to use over here for jars and containers and stuff, right? So just use what you have to inspire you. Okay. Put this in the box. So now we have this one here and this one here. That's what we have so far. That's probably going to sit sideways as well because everything's turning to the side here. And that looks so cute. This one, let's do some cheesecloth. We'll just get some cheesecloth out. Cut a piece of that off. That'd be fun. All right. We'll wrap some cheesecloth around this one. And that also reminds you to use your cheesecloth, your laces, you know, your pretty bits of little trims, and maybe somebody gave you like a small collection of laces, and you can do the same thing on the bulb pin. Make yourself a little collection of snippets, right? So that looks really cute. Okay. And that keeps it on the side too, right? Okay, so let's put these in here. And then we have an extra piece of chain in here too if I want to go back and use that chain. It's there. But these filled up pretty good in here, didn't they? Okay, I'm going to put in there. Look at how that's filling up, you guys. You can fit about 10 of these envelopes filled up with beads or more, depending on what you're going to put in it. Isn't that so pretty? I am so inspired to make things with these beads now that I've got them ready to go. And it'll be easy just to dump them out on my tray. And play, because that's what I want to do. And I may come back and show you guys what I'm going to make. I've had people ask me about how I make my charm dangles and stuff, and I'm like, that's so easy. But that's the way I think. I think everything that I make is too simple to show you guys how to make it, you know? I'm looking for a piece of lace. So I want to show you what I'm doing with my Bird & Barn lace holders, you guys. Oh my goodness. So I have them all hanging out here, and I need to add some tatting. So I'm going to grab, there's nowhere to show you everything, right? Because I have so much stuff on the table here now. But I want to grab one of my laces to use to inspire myself. Which one should I use? I love the tatting. Let's see. So I have on here LaParisienne Fashion Boutique digital, and this is the postcards folded in half, and they are in the landscape. So you just fold them in half, and then you can tuck in your pocket. This is also a great way to use your digitals if you have these, and you can add little words inside, and this is the organization labels, and it's just a cute way to sort your things. So I think I'm going to take this really pretty tatting right here, this one here, it's like a medium-sized tatting, and I'm just going to cut off just a little piece of that and add that to the beads. And I have a project coming up, you guys. I have a project putting this together. If you want to see that, I will be coming back and showing you how I do these lace holders. And if you haven't seen these, they are beautiful, you guys. I glittered mine up and painted them with ink, and yeah, it's going to be so fun. So stay tuned for that video. That's coming up soon. All right. So I'm going to tie this tatting around the bead. Actually, it's going to go, if I can get this through. This one was a little hard to do because I had to put the bead on there. So I would definitely, if you can, find some fish hooks and have the bead dangling instead of just sitting there. It's a lot easier to see it too when it's dangling on the side, but it's still cute. So there's that one. You add your little tag to it, and then you count how many beads are in here if you need to count them, and then you just start making your project. These look like all the same beads. Okay. Let's see how this is gonna look. So I have the pearls. Let's put the gold in here, and then I have the pearls again. Let's put this one here. And then we'll just put the tags on the outside so we can see everything, the beads on the outside. There, that's what we have so far. We still have more room in the box, and that looks so good. I love it. Okay, now what I have left for you, I did all the beads. I'm gonna clear this all off and just keep just a few things here, because this is way too much for your eyes to see, I know. But this is how I do things. I set this all up to inspire myself to craft. And then I come back and put things together. That's how I do it. So now I just have the tags here, which we're not gonna do anything with. I'll find a lot of my beads later. But imagine if I didn't. So if, say I have a Ziploc bag, and then I got to open the Ziploc bag, and then I got to put it in, and then zip it back up. This is so easy on the hands because you can just open it up and put your beads back in, and then go on your way. These are full necklaces. I didn't know this one was going to be so thick, so this one might not work. But I do like to tea dye my pearls. But these are so pretty, they don't need to be tea dyed. But sometimes you get them kind of dingy or something, and they look like they need to be tea dyed. But these are beautiful, just gorgeous. So we have those, and then these are a little bit darker, and they almost look aged already. So we're not going to tea dye either one of those. Okay? But we are going to get our glue. I'm going to get my glue. Still got to make a glue bottle cover. And I'm going to pick a spot where I want to cut. Now this is an experiment, you guys, so we'll see how this goes. But what I do is I take the glue and I find the little, the string. So I would put a dab of glue on the string. Well, let's make sure the glue is going to come out. Is it coming? Okay, there we go. So I take the glue and I just go around. Now you could probably do this with art glitter glue, but I just use this one because it's pliable. This is fabric tack, or no, this is Beacon 3-in-1, and kind of keep the spot where you know you're going to glue it, right? So you're just going to glue around the string, and then you're going to come back and you're going to kind of cut where you glued the string, and it is going to, some of them are going to fall apart, going to fall off. So you're going to have something like this. So you have both ends like this, okay? So what you're going to do is just make sure that these are glued. So you have it now glued on both sides, but I think I'm going to cut this down and show you a smaller version of it like that. So you can make little clusters out of these that are already done. I left the glue lid off. Let's just tap that right there. Once you glue it, then you can move your pearls around too and leave it to the pretty spot after it's glued. And then you have something like that. So let me glue it again. To me, this seems the better size, right? This is the better small size there. I can use this for something else. See if it goes around this paper clip. So I'm going to take that loop and I'm going to use that as my pokey right there, see? And then I'm going to manipulate in and out of the pearls until it catches and goes around the circle here. Push it up, and then it's your little pearl topper for your page, and then you can go back. And what I like to do is take out my trusty little shimmer sticks. You guys have seen this in so many of my videos, but I like to do this, and then I go back where the glue is and I'll add the glitter, because this has got alcohol in it, and then it just kind of forms it and makes it look pretty. And then if you have any pearls that might be showing the glue, you can kind of just push them in and hide the pearl that's glued. And you can see that some of them are dull because they got glued. Like that. And then I want to add my little dangle there. I need to find a way to hang this in the string. So I have a little dangle going off the paper clip. And my eyes are so bad to see this tiny stuff. So hopefully I'm going to catch something that has a little string in there somewhere. And then it can dangle in the string. Oh, there we go. I got a string. Hopefully it stays. And then I can loop that like that. Oh, that's so cute. Let's see how it looks on a page. A little mini file folder over here. That would be cute. Look at how cute that is, you guys. Oh, that's adorable. I love it. You can add more charms here too if you wanted to add, or more up in the pearls because they have that string. But I just think that's really cute. You can add a charm. This could be a whole nother video, you guys. Isn't that so cute? I love it. So that's what you can do with these types of pearls, and this one would make it even cuter because it's smaller. So get out all your supplies, you guys, and I hope that you enjoyed this little craft with me video showing you all the aesthetics in my display. And to play along, Bye, everyone.